Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Grok Build Something Beta. This is episode 2, which is going to focus on the customization surface in the harness and kind of the neat layout they did for that. And maybe we'll look at some of the slash commands here before we get into building something for real. So I guess we will get started. In this harness, one of the things you can do is you can hit the slash command button, key, there we go, key. And once you do that, you will get this compressed list of 6 that will turn into, that you can, I guess you can scroll. And so you can use your arrow keys and you get all these little slash commands that have a little bit of a description. There we go. Description next to them. And so I can click through these. If I want to use one, I guess to kind of look at, in the first episode, I mentioned that the main screen goes away. You can bring it back with slash home. That's kind of nice. There's another one in here too that lets you do that. Where to go? Where to go? Okay, I guess new. I mean, new would probably do it too, but it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, there was another one that I thought brought you back to home, but slash home will take you there. So if you really want to see the Grok logo, you can go there. Another one I found that was kind of neat is compact mode. So if you don't like all the space that those shortcuts and little tooltips and everything take up, you can go compact mode and you can see the difference between them. It takes up a lot more space. We're going to leave it out of compact mode for now, I think. I noticed that they do support multi-line. I was scared to try it, so line 1 and then, well, I thought maybe you could do a shift enter to swap that. Now I can. Yeah, I'm wondering, that might not be a Grok build problem. That might work for you guys. It could be my Fedora setup not behaving. I'll have to look into that. But I can do multi-line, you'll see. But I'm supposed to be able to hit shift enter here and it'll send, as you can see, but right now it's not. I think the harness itself is supposed to allow me to do that. So if any of you guys get a chance to try it, you'll have to try that out and see if it's working. For me, it's not, but maybe I'll dig in and figure out why. But you can do multi-line, which, you know, is more for our sake than the agents a lot of ways, but you can look nicer and it can help you write out your thoughts a little bit better. So that's some of those. It has a slash resume, so we can go back. You see it pops up a nice little window here. You can go back. These sessions don't seem... I think when you send a prompt, they get named. It looks like these ones are ones where we didn't send a prompt, so we maybe did a slash command or something. So that would be nice if that got cleaned up a little bit. I'd like to not see all these random session IDs if we didn't really do anything in them. Yeah, they have a message in them. So you can expand these with an E, and you can get a little information on what they are. You see it, here's an interesting little tidbit. They have source being local, so they're probably thinking about building in some remote capabilities at some point, you would think. That's what that means. But yeah, I don't know. I deep search in there too, but I don't like that we have all these sessions in there, but that's okay. We will survive. It's still in beta. You can click out of it to get out of that. I want to say you can hit escape. Yep, you can hit escape as well to get out of that. And that's kind of a nice segue into our next, well, almost there. I think I showed this off in the first one, but they do show a model They do show a model. I'm seeing there's an effort. I don't know if that's supported yet, and I think, but there is a reasoning effort eventually that will be integrated, I think. Is there anything else I want to hit here before we get into customization? You got the color theme. Ooh. That's a light mode, night. There's a couple of them. Let's use Grok Night. I like Grok Night. Keep it dark. I do see that they have loop in here. I won't get super deep into them. Let's get to the customization surface. This is the neat thing I think they did. So if we go into the extensions, and you'll see that I've disabled some of my custom ones here. But if we go into the extensions, one of the things that I think they did, which I am a big fan of, is obviously they create this window, right? But I can now tab through, and I can get to all my hooks, my plugins, my marketplaces, my skills, and my MCP servers from one window, instead of having to continuously type / commands and figure out, hey, this needs Claude MCP add this, or yada yada. It's just all in one spot, and I do think I'm a big fan of this personally. You'll see one of the things you'll notice right away is this is where the auto loading Claude code is very prevalent. So you see a couple of my hooks are in here. One of the things that's not necessarily clear here, open this, enter, faces the toggle, but there's a way to open it. Remember how to open these. Expand? No. No. Or if I need to be. Yeah. There is a way. Oh, there we go. Found it. To expand it, this is kind of a UX thing. I think that's, I just struggled with it. Everywhere else in the harness, you use E to expand that, right? Here, you got to use an arrow key. So when I'm highlighted on this, if I hit the right arrow key, it expands it. And then if I hit the left arrow key, it goes back. So maybe I'd like to see that be standardized. So I'm not, having to switch my brain on it either which way. This is still beta, right? So they're working through. It's something you expect to be worked through. In this type of thing, or in this type of release. So you'll see the hooks are there. You can see the hooks you have. You can enable and disable using the space. And see that the hooks restart, which I wonder if that's actually restarting the terminal a little bit, which would be nice, because with Claude you have to go out and in, so we'll have to try that at some point. But I can hit spacebar to disable and enable things. We got all the plugins here. This is all from my Claude setup, obviously. Some of them are personal ones as well, but we can go into these. And plugins are the combo of MCP server with skills, and I think sometimes, depending on the harness, instruction files with it. I'm not necessarily sure if Grok Build is set up that way, but you'll see plugins, marketplaces, if you've installed them from anywhere. So this is a custom one I have, and then there's the Claude Code ones. And I wonder what happens when I expand these. Yeah, they have the plugins listed underneath them, right, for the market. So that's kind of a nice way. This is a nice way to kind of look through everything quickly, compactly. Skills, same type of thing. The ones that are not disabled are the ones that will come with the harness. You obviously have a help, so it looks like Grok can understand its own harness. We have a create skill, which I think we can guess what that is. We've got check. verify changes with a sub-agent. So that looks like a multi-agent orchestration path that we can call to say, hey, check our work with a fresh context, is my guess. Best of N, I've seen them, the XAI team, make a couple comments about it. It's parallel implementation tournament. So, if you've used expert or heavy, probably heavy even more realistically, this Best of N is probably very similar to what they're doing. So you can kind of set multiple agents on a task and see what happens. Then they've got their, Microsoft Docs, Excel, PowerPoint. And then there's a couple more down here for just general design, for looks like design docs. And then implement, which I'm guessing happens after you design. So I'm guessing these get called during plan. PR babysit, this looks like if you hook up your GitHub, it's essentially a GitHub skill built in, or I guess I always forget, that might be, I don't know if that's specifically GitHub or if that's how most Git trees work, but, and then review, you have run a reviewer sub-agent, so you can, I don't know what the difference, it looks like the difference between check and that is this is more of a comprehensive review before you send changes up to your Git, so there's a difference between check and review. I wonder if the Grok build understands the difference between them. I don't think a human would all the time, but that'll be something to see if it does that way. And then your MCP servers are listed here as well. A to add in all of these, you can put in your own name. Hoping tab gets me down yet. I would think I can paste something in here. Let me grab a URL. Sure that it's in here. Yep. So Control Shift S will let me paste in there on my terminal at least. That's a nice. Glad to have that in there. Looks like this is not interactive. So Tab and Shift Tab. Can't click through to these. That would be. Oh, you can click up here. I was curious if they're gonna let, but it does look like on this specific ad page, it's tab only to get through everything. So we did just discover though that I can do this to click around. Looks like you would think I could click to open these. Right now I can't. I'm sure that works for some of them. So it looks like that's the intention. It's just not fully integrated everywhere yet, but will be. So that's kind of a nice for us, for people that don't want to use a keyboard all the time, you can use it there. So this is the extension page, right? And I don't want to go into the nitty gritty on what each of these are right now. We'll use them over the course of the series. But these are the customization services that live today. It's expandable if someone ever invents something else. It's just another tab on here, so I like that. So I really like this page a lot. So yeah, that is the extensions. I guess one more thing I should mention is, I was talking to Grok a little bit about this camera. And it looks like it didn't. I do wonder if the documentation. So it looks like I was curious if it saved the thoughts, and it obviously read the docs. So I read the user guide for Grok and thought documentation's clear. Sorry, I'm going into custom instructions. It's very similar to another harness you might use. You can agents.md is what the XAI team has decided to make their standard. So agents.md, it'll read your Claude.md files as well. So if you drop into a project with your Claude.md. It'll behave the same. That's nice. I think for transition, I hope someday I can shut that off. And maybe I can right now. Because I'd like to have my harnesses, if I have multiple working on a project, being responsible for different things. And I kind of lose that if Grok is always reading Claude.md. So I would hope I can now or someday shut off this compatibility support. It's a good transition tool, but at some point it'd be nice to have the option to keep it separate. And then agent and agents are the other ones checked. So there's no Grok.md, which is probably good. I mean, they're standardizing on agents. So that's just kind of what I want to show you there. There's, whatchamacallit. You can do it at the project level, and you can do it at the system configuration level. So the .grok directory, you can put an agents.md in there. You can configure skills, plugins, hooks there, etc. And they'll be available to all your sessions, or you can do it by project only. So yeah, that's kind of some of your customization surfaces. You can see that out the gate, they planned for them all. They built all of them, all that I know about, and which makes it really easy. You know, it makes it, I don't feel like I'm downgrading to move over yet, which is nice. I do like that a lot. So that's our customization. There's more to this harness, but I promise in the next episode we're actually gonna build something for real. So bear with me. This has been 2 setup episodes to kind of give you a feel for the whole harness and the tool, at least where it stands in this beta version. And in the next episode, we're gonna build our first thing with Grok, which is, or with Grok Build, which is the whole point, right? It's Grok Build. So thank you everyone for sticking with it and watching, and then I will see everybody in the next episode.